Hello everyone, and welcome to the DateTime module lecture. In this lecture, we look at the time delta class. So far we have seen the DateTime, the time, and date classes. In this lecture, we'll see the time delta class. We use the time delta class to calculate past or future times. Okay? And this time delta represents 365 days, 8 hours, and 15 minutes. Let's start by importing the different modules that we need. So let's import DateTime. From DateTime, let's import date. So we'll import all the libraries, all the classes from our DateTime module that we need. So from DateTime, let's import time delta. That's the main one that we'll need. And let's also import time and DateTime. Import time, and from DateTime, import DateTime. Okay, now that we have imported the libraries that we need, let's see how we can use the time delta class. We'll start by creating a time delta object. So we have time delta, and then we pass, it takes 3 attributes. So days, hours, and minutes. So for days, we'll pass 365 days. So that's how many days the time delta object represents. And then hours, we mentioned 8 hours. And then for minutes, it's 15. So this is a time delta object, as you see here. And if we pass, let's save this in a variable, or we can simply print it, and we see that time delta object represents 365 days, 8 hours, and 15 minutes. So we can use this time delta objects to calculate future or past times or days. So let's call the now function from our DateTime module. So from DateTime, let's call the now function. So today is, let me print it for a better representation. So today it's December 4th, 2016. It's 6:13 a.m. What we can do is we can use this time delta object to calculate the time it was. Let's say the date and time it was 1 year before 1 year. Okay, so today before 1 year. Let's do that. So we can say, so we have our, today is what? Today is DateTime.now, right? That's today. And then minus, we want to calculate the date and time it was a year before today, right? So we'll use the time delta object and then pass days and set it equal to 365. Okay, then if we run this, we get 2015 12. Okay, let's have a better representation. Let's print it, run it now. So 1 year before today, it was December 5th, 2015, 6:14 a.m. right? Since we are calling this DateTime now, the time changes every time we run it. So if I run it again, the time will change 6:15, 15. If I run it again, 6:15, 19. If you want a constant date, you can save this DateTime.now in some variable, let's say now or right now, whatever. Okay, let's run that. Now let's first save this in a variable called now. Then we can print now. Now is that time. And then print, instead of DateTime.now, we can say now. And that will give you a constant time. You see, 6:15:43, 6:15:43. Okay, so that was 1 year before today. So it took off 365 days. Similarly, you can calculate, you can do other calculations like what day and time it was, maybe 200 days before today. So for that, we can say DateTime.now for the current date and time minus time delta, and then for days, let's set it to be equal to what, 200 days. Run it and let's print it. So 200 days before today was May 18th, 2016, 6:16 a.m. So these are examples of calculations on past dates and time. Now let's see examples of future dates. For instance, if I want to calculate the date and time, maybe 75 days from today, we can say print DateTime.now, that's the current time, plus time delta, and 75 days from today, we'll use the days attribute and then pass 75 days and run it. So 75 days from today will be February 17th, 2017. Similarly, we can also pass weeks attribute into our time delta object. So for instance, we can say print DateTime.now, and if I want to calculate the time and date, maybe let's say 10 weeks from now, we can say weeks is equal to 10. Maybe 10 weeks from now, and let's say 6 days. That's almost 11 weeks. We can also do that. Run it and it will be February 18th, 2017. So 11 weeks is almost 75 days. Okay. Let me show you one more example. So today is December 4th and Christmas will be on December 25th. And if I want to calculate how many days until Christmas, we can do that by using the time delta class. Let's see how we can do that. So from the date module, from the date class, we'll use the today function to calculate the current day, which is today. Okay, and then if I print this, we have December 4th, 2016. And let me save this in a variable called, let's say, today. And what I'll do next is I'll create a date for Christmas and then save it in a variable called Christmas. Then I'll set it to be equal to date, and then I'll pass today.year. I'll call the year function on today. So that will be what, 2016 basically. And then 12/25. So that will be the Christmas day, right? So if we print Christmas, we have what? 2016 12/25, right? Now all we have to do is we can subtract this and find out the number of days left. So we'll subtract this and then call the days function on it. So we can say, we can simply print Christmas will be in, let's use some string formatting. Christmas will be in this many days, that format, and let's pass, we have what? Christmas minus today. So we'll call the days function on it to calculate the number of days between Christmas and today. Okay, so if we run this, we get Christmas will be in 21 days. So just to recap, we saw the time delta class in this lecture, and we used this time delta class to calculate past or future date and time, and the time delta object is equal to 365 days, 8 hours and 15 minutes. Thank you everyone, and I'll see you at the next lecture.